What's up everybody, once again my name is Matt and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In the last episode we recovered 2 more of Link's missing memories and took on some shrines in Central Hyrule. In this episode, well, we're pretty much going to do the same exact thing, although we will be doing it in the GERUDO region for the most part. And I say for the most part because the red pin I have on my map is a shrine location that is actually still in Central Hyrule. Once we check this off the list though, we will go directly to the GERUDO region and start doing shrines there. Now, here's the thing. I recently learned I can't count to save my life. Apparently for quite a while now, I've been saying, oh, we only have 2 more shrines in Central Hyrule, blah 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 blah. Well, yeah, it turns out we had like 4 more shrines in this region. Then also, for the GERUDO region, I'm pretty sure I said the entire area only had like 4 shrines. Turns out it has like 5, so either one of 2 things: I can't count, or I can't read a map, and it's probably the second one, to be totally honest. Like, I bought the player's guide for this game just for the Shrine and Korok Seed map, and while it has been like really useful, the shrines aren't numbered, and there isn't a place to mark things off without actually marking on the map itself, which I don't want to do since it would just make it harder to read in the long run. But I think now I do have the proper count for everything. Only time will tell, I guess, but yes, right down there is the final shrine for the Central Hyrule region, and I can say that with 100% certainty that it is the final shrine for this region. It took a while, and I felt like we got the final shrine several times already, but you know, this is actually the final shrine. I will admit though, it is a little anticlimactic considering this one's just like out in the open and it's super easy to get to, but hey, you know, it's the last shrine for this region, so it's got a special place in my heart. Actually, it really doesn't, but you know, whatever, I just thought I would say that to make it feel better. Alright, so, for our final shrine in this region, what's in store? It's gotta be something amazing, right? Well, prepare to be disappointed because, well, this shrine is just another combat shrine. In fact, it's a minor test of strength shrine, meaning that, yeah, it's gonna be ridiculously easy, so, here we go, I guess. Actually, I should probably take this as, like, an opportunity to use some of my cruddier weapons, since, I have a lot of, like, junk cluttering my inventory. So, yeah, we'll use this 8-fold blade. Like, I probably was never gonna use this at any other point, since it is such low damage. Might as well use it on, like, this guy, since there's really no threat in this entire shrine, and hopefully we can actually break this weapon. I know I can just like drop them if I really need to, but I don't know, I feel like that's kind of wasteful in like actually using the weapon. Oh, that was greedy. I should run away. Yeah, that was close there. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of wasteful to just like drop weapons without at least using them to some extent, so figured I would use it there. And hey, look at that, we actually killed him with it, and I'll just get rid of this now because I don't really need it. So, there we go. Like, I don't mind getting rid of weapons when they're badly damaged, since at that point, I probably would just stop using them, or they'll break in, like, 1 or 2 uses anyways. Alright, so what's gonna be inside this chest? Well, let's see. An ancient core. Not bad at all. I'm sure I can use that for something, like maybe buying some ancient weapons, or potentially upgrading my Guardian armor set. I'm actually not even sure what that thing requires for upgrades after, the next level, so probably should start saving more and more of my ancient materials, but haven't really been spending them anyway, so I'm sure I'm probably okay. Anyways, now that we're done with the final Central Hyrule Shrine, we can start making our way into the GERUDO region. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand that the Wastelands and the GERUDO region are 2 separate regions. They're kind of both a desert though, so they're easily confused, and they sort of intertwine with one another, but they are separate. So when I say the GERUDO region, I just mean the area that the GERUDO Tower filled out on our map. Now, I know this is kind of confusing, but I am going to teleport to the Wastelands Tower, and from there, we should be able to glide to the next shrine, which was marked by the blue pin, but that shrine is in the GERUDO region. So hopefully I better explain that, because my current objective, at least as far as my plans for the game go, is to complete all the shrines in the GERUDO region. Then after I do that, go directly to the next Divine Beast. And then, of course, we'll finish off the remaining shrines in the Wasteland region and that one that I left up in the Hebra region. So that's essentially where I'm going with this. Anyways, if we jump off over here, we get a nice view of the Wastelands. Actually, there's a really cool looking oasis that we're gonna fly right over, and I think there's a little bit of like a wind current. Can't really tell, but that might be problematic with getting to this shrine. Hopefully it doesn't like push against us, because sometimes that does happen where randomly there will be a wind current if you jump off of something, and if it's like pushing directly against you, you will not travel far at all with your paraglider. But yeah, it seems kind of far, like that blue pin. It's actually closer than you might think. We can kind of already see where we're going, but there's no distinguishable landmark for me to point out, except that those two like cliffs, right? The higher one, that's not where we're going. We're going to the lower one, if that makes like any sense, where all those kind of like circular large rocks are. That's about where we need to go, and it looks like we made it there just fine. The crosswind didn't really bother us too much. Alright, there we go. That giant circle that just spawned in, that's where we need to go, and check it out. There's some Gorons down here. Well, ain't that interesting. Before we talk to any of these Gorons, let's go ahead and put on our Flame Breaker gear, and now we should be good to go. You can talk to like any one of these Gorons to start the quest. So what's going on, buddy? Pump it up, brother! Oh, it's the fourth Goron, Blood Brother, the one who somehow beat our famous gut check challenge. This is our ancestral training ground, little man. We're smack in the middle of a contest of endurance. Feel the burn, brother! We're training to become even manlier Goron men, brother. Right now, we're competing to see who can beat the heat. So sweaty, brother. Of course, since you beat the gut check challenge, you'll want to try this too. We're Gorons, but we can't really stand this extreme heat either. That's why we came here to train. After this, we'll be able to handle the extra heat in Goron City, no problem. Hey, I have an idea. Come join us. Yeah, come try the contest of endurance yourself, brother. Sure, why not? Good answer. A guy like you has a burning passion in his belly. It's inspiring, brother. When you're ready, step onto this platform. Then the contest of endurance will commence. Alright, well, I guess we'll go ahead and equip our Frostblade as well, although it probably won't help out much, but this is the test of will. If you leave the ring or pass out, it's all over. You lose. Got it? Okay, now prepare yourself for the contest of endurance. Go! Yeah, so even with our Flame Breaker gear and the Frostblade, it's still a little warm here. We probably will take some amount of damage just because we're standing on like a molten piece of rock. But overall, we should be fine. This quest is really straightforward. You just have to hold out longer than any of the other Gorons, and they go down fairly quickly, and we can pretty much stand here for, I don't know, however long we need to. Like, even if we got low on hearts, I could just eat food, and then we'd be fine. But, it should end any second now. There we go, last Goron down. You're amazing! I never would have thought the 3 Goron blood brothers could lose to you, brother. In fact, I'm granting you the highest honor, the chance to participate in the contest of ultimate endurance. It's where our ancestors trained. It's considered the toughest test known to Goron kind. You see that ring behind me? The one surrounded in fire? Do you feel it in your gut? What a bad idea it is to go there. Your gut is dead on, brother. That special training area is even harder than the last ring. This contest won't just challenge you with heat, but also with fire. If you lose your focus, your body will catch fire. Make sure you've prepared for this, brother. It's said that passing this test will reveal a shrine or some such. If you think you're ready, climb onto the ring. Do that, and our special contest of ultimate endurance will begin. Huh? Is that heat-resistant gear you have there, brother? A real Goron man shouldn't have to rely on wussy stuff like that. Goron up and take the challenge without any help. Yeah, so our armor is not going to help us here. If you try to, like, go on there with the armor, they'll pretty much just tell you to get off and remove the armor. So, to be the manliest man possible, we're doing it naked, baby. But, of course, we are going to need some help, so drink one of the fireproof elixirs. You should still have a few over from, completing the Divine Beast in that area. But now, we're ready to go. You're standing up there, which can only mean one thing. You're ready to push yourself to your limits, brother. The rules for this contest of ultimate endurance are the same as ever. Leave the ring or faint, and it's over. Okay, time for the world-famous contest of ultimate endurance. Go! Right, so this time we're taking the test alone. None of the other Gorons are, even remotely ready to take on this test of ultimate endurance. So, yeah, we kind of just have to, like, sit here and do pretty much nothing for, I want to say, like, 2 minutes or so. It's kind of a weird challenge. Like, once you know that you need the fireproof elixir and the flame breaker gear, it's a pretty straightforward quest. Obviously, if you didn't have any of that gear, you'd be on fire right now, and, it wouldn't end well for you. So, don't do it unless, like, you have an elixir. Or, I guess, tons and tons of food. But even then, I'm not even sure, like, if you could survive by eating food. Like, you'd have to eat a ton of food in order to not burn to a crisp doing this. Alright, we should be done any second now, I want to say. There we go. Roar! So epic, brother. What a powerful display. What fire. That was something else, brother. And just like that, a shrine will appear out of thin air. Whoa, that's a shrine or some such. It really appeared just like that. So the legend is true, brother. You won the contest of ultimate endurance, little man. You're amazing. Alright, so with that, we completed the test of will. Let's go and re-equip, like, all our gear again, just so, you know, we're not completely vulnerable anymore. And oh my gosh, alright, there we go. Jeez, I don't know why I was, like, having such a hard time getting over to my gear. But, yeah, we're ready to go. So, the quest for the shrine, not too hard, meaning that there still is a shrine that we actually need to complete, and this one is rather interesting, to say the least. It's not particularly hard, it's just got a lot of weird, sort of gimmicky things inside it that probably not a lot of people will like. I'm not really a fan of this particular shrine, if I'm being totally honest, because it is, again, one of those gyro shrines. So, to start things off, what you want to do here is just, rotate this block around and, sort of turn on all of these, like, electric nodes. Nothing really too hard, although you do have to, like, rotate your controller completely around. But after you do that, like, the first section is done. So, you know, not too hard, pretty straightforward, whatever. This second section is kind of what starts to annoy me, because, there's a chest right over there, and that chest is really annoying to get to. Actually, I haven't tried this before, but let me try blowing it up real quick. Okay, so it does survive a bomb arrow, meaning that the only way to get that one is to actually, you know, get over to where the chest is. That is easier said than done, so I'll give it a couple tries, but, no guarantee that I'll get that chest. What you want to do, though, is try and angle this in such a way where you can jump, like, into the airstream. That is a little bit too low. And this is sort of where the difficulty comes into play, because I have a really hard time... that's not gonna work either. I have a really hard time sort of, like, judging where the airstream actually is in relation to the chest, and also, like, if it's facing upward or downward, because obviously if it's facing towards the ground, it's not going to work at all. That might work, maybe if I could get into it. I might be able to do something with this. Let me actually try real quick. So yeah, we can remove this, place it back down, that way we can sort of like, hopefully, jump into this air current, and, man, it's a little bit too high. Alright, I can try again, and hopefully, and yeah, sadly it does like reset every time you use the panel, so that of course makes it a little bit harder. Maybe there? Actually, that looks pretty dang good. It's kind of angled upwards though, so might not exactly work out, but it might work out nonetheless. So let's just give it a shot, I suppose. Hopefully we can do this. Come on, baby. Oh man, dang, I knew because it was facing upwards that it wasn't gonna work. Alright, you know what? Does it really matter what's inside that chest? I really don't think so. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I really don't feel like finagling with this thing for 9 million hours just to try and get it working. Instead, let's just try to get through this room. So rotate it in such a way that we activate 3 of the propellers and tilt it down towards the 4th one. Then we're going to take this metallic box and bring it over to this side. That way we can lift this 4th propeller into the wind current. But of course now we need to go and reactivate this 3rd propeller. We can do that by just like taking stasis and standing on this switch. Now wait until the door opens. That's kind of important because it does give you some extra time. Now use stasis on this switch, hold it in place, and we can just like run under the door, and as long as we make it through before stasis runs out, we're pretty much golden. Now this next puzzle seems like it would be pretty hard, right? You can sort of move one of the water spouts up and down, you can hold it with stasis to maybe give yourself some more time, but the goal is to light all of the torches on this cube. So it could be complicated, or you could just light the first 4 on like that entire axis, then rotate it at an angle, and now, well, fire arrows exist, so it's pretty much already done. Like, really all we have to do, shoot 2 fire arrows at like the torches on either side of this cube, and that's that. The game just wants them to be on fire, not necessarily be lit with the hanging torch from above. So I don't know why that first arrow didn't work, but come on, there we go. See, I knew that worked, like I've done it before. It was just weird how the first one didn't exactly light. Alright, let's try and get a better shot at this one. And please work. I think it did. Yes, indeed. Alright, so yeah, that's like the easiest way to get through that section of this shrine. I wouldn't bother playing around with the switch or anything else. Alright, so we may have missed that chest, but you know what? I'm not really gonna lose any sleep over it. We're done with this shrine. Now that we are done, I'm sure there is one shrine you guys want me to do, and have been waiting for me to do, and that is the one pretty much right next to GERUDO Tower, because obviously, when we first activated that tower, Cass was up there playing his accordion, you know, having a good old time. And of course, obviously, whenever Cass is around, he will give you a shrine quest, and, well, we haven't done that one yet, so I figure if we're going to do any GERUDO shrine next, we should probably do that one. The only reason I did this one first is because it's really far out of the way. Like, the other 4 shrines are pretty much centered around this tower. So, yeah, I want to do the farthest one first, and now we'll just go to the tower itself, get that quest, and do the remaining 4, which should be pretty close by. Shouldn't take us too long. Plus, I mean, we get to talk to our friend Cass again. Who's not looking forward to that? And if you say you're not looking forward to it, you're lying to yourself, because Cass is one of the best characters in the entire game. And of course, there he is, still faithfully up here playing his accordion. So, hey buddy, it's been a while. What are you up to, my man? What if? No, but then... Ah, forgive me. I was lost in a song written by my late teacher. He wrote it for the hero who fell to the calamity 100 years ago. So much time has passed, and yet the hero has not yet returned, but my teacher always kept faith. I hope to play the song for the hero someday, so I practice it often. Oh, forgive me, it seems I've prattled on. I know a song about this place. Would you like to hear the ancient verse passed down in this region? Heck yeah, man, let's do it! Excellent. Without further ado... A light shines from the northwest skies. From the tower shadow an arrow flies. Pierce heaven's light, reveal the prize. I still don't quite understand the lyrics, but knowing my teacher, they're the key to revealing a secret. Best of luck, and may the light illuminate your path. Alright, well, thanks for the song, Cass, and that gives us the Sign of the Shadow Shrine quest, where we need to pierce the heavens in order to make a shrine appear. Now, yeah, judging from the camera angle during, like, Cass's song segment, the pedestal is right over here. You can kind of, like, barely make it out from the top of the tower. Now, this quest can only be completed during a certain time. I believe that time window is between 3 and 4 p.m. So what you want to do is just wait until that time and fire an arrow directly above where that tower is. So I guess for now we'll just stay by this fire until noon and then wait until like 3 p.m. to complete this quest. There's really nothing else you can do, but yeah, it's pretty much that simple. So I guess I'll just see you guys at 3 p.m. Hey, there we go. It's 2:55, so I guess it starts at 2:55, but, yeah, the pedestal is activated, meaning we have about an hour to just fire an arrow right above this Sheikah Tower, and doing that, well, it's gonna activate the shrine. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, huh? And ta-da! Rising from the ashes like a phoenix, here's our shrine, and that does complete the Sign of the Shadow Shrine quest. Alright, not too bad, so let's head inside and see what secrets this shrine has in store for us. Prepare for ultimate disappointment, actually, because I'm pretty sure this is just another combat shrine. It's really weird, too, because it seems like we find all the combat shrines in chunks. Like, there were a ton of them up towards the northern section of the map, right? I remember doing a ton of combat shrines, one after the other, in the Hebra region. Then, for a while, like, we didn't see any of them at all. We were just doing, like, puzzle shrines, which I personally find more enjoyable. And now, it seems like we're going back to just, like, seeing more and more and more combat shrines, although they're, like, the easier variety of combat shrines, so it's not exactly challenging, just, you know, another combat shrine, nothing too special. And holy crap, man, we just chunked the crud out of this guy, already down to, like, below 200 HP. Kind of a shame, though, because we did, like, severely damage Daruk's weapon, and, Rivali's bow is actually kind of weak as well. I might break both of those off screen and just, like, get them replaced, because I don't know, I kind of want to keep them around since they are pretty good, but, yeah, I've sort of used them to the extent that I can right now without them breaking. I don't know, though. Maybe I'll just, like, go and hang them up in Link's house instead. Not too sure. Alright, so now that we're done with this shrine, well, let's see what we get for our trouble. Inside this chest is a Frostblade, really? You know what? I'm glad my inventory is full because I don't even want that stupid thing, so you can keep it, Sheikah Monk. Maybe it'll keep you company, although you actually disintegrate after we, you know, complete the shrine, so I guess nothing is going to keep you company at all. Alright, another Spirit Orb is ours. Hooray! Now that we're done with that, that is actually everything that I wanted to do in this video, but seems like we do have some time left, so what do you say we go and collect another one of Link's missing memories? Yeah, I know, we've been doing that a lot recently, but it sort of makes sense to do it now. I do wish I kinda didn't wait as long as I did to pick up that one memory in the Wasteland region, because it did sort of put me behind in terms of memory collections, so now I feel like I'm making up for lost time, but at the same time, we're also getting, like, a lot of story content all at once, right at the end of the game, which is not a bad thing, I would say. But maybe if I was going to do it all over again, I would pace it out a little bit differently. Oh well, what can you do, man? I still feel like I paced everything out to the best of my ability, given, like, the knowledge of the game that I had at the time, which, I mean, has changed and sort of grown over the course of, like, replaying this game and also reading stuff online and finding out other things from other people. So, I mean, at the time, I thought I had a pretty good understanding of how I wanted to go and, you know, discover the memories and reveal the story, which I still think is a decent way to do it, but, if I was gonna do it all over again from the very beginning, there might be some minor changes that I would have made here or there to sort of, I guess, give more precedence to the story, which might not even be the right thing to do, considering the game itself doesn't exactly lend itself to be played in a way that gives precedence to the story, because if you do that, you're sort of locking yourself down, whereas the game is meant to be open and played however you want, so maybe the way that I'm doing it isn't that bad after all. Like, I'll be honest, personally, right now, I think I'm doing a fairly okay job, but, can't really judge it until a couple of years from now when I look back at this project. Then I'll be able to, like, objectively say if I did a good job or not. I mean, you guys can let me know what you think as well, because you guys are the current viewers of this series. I think I'm doing a pretty alright job, but ultimately you guys are the judge of that. Alright, so our next memory is right over here. Let's check it out.
Be sure to take the time to soothe your mount. That's the only way it will know how you truly feel. Your advice was quite helpful, thank you. This little one and I are getting along quite well now. At first, I wasn't sure if I should outfit him with all of the royal gear. I thought maybe he should have to earn it first. But it works. He wears it like a true natural. I'm trying to be a bit more empathetic. Benefit of the doubt, you know? See that mountain? That's Mount Lanayru. It takes its name from the goddess of wisdom. Lanayru's decree is very specific. It says no one is allowed under the age of 17. for only the wise are permitted a place upon the mountain. I've prayed at the spring of courage and at the spring of power, yet neither awoke anything inside me. But maybe up there, perhaps the spring of wisdom, the final of the three, will be the one. To be honest, I have no real reason to think that will be the case. But there's always the chance that the next moment will change everything. Tomorrow is my 17th birthday. So then I shall go and make my way up the mountain.
Alright, so that was pretty interesting. We learned that Zelda is technically 17 years old in this game, or, well, I guess 117 now. But, more importantly, we learned that nothing happened at the Spring of Power or the Spring of Courage, but we haven't really seen if anything happened at the Spring of Wisdom. And as you know, the Triforce is Power, Wisdom, and Courage, and typically Zelda's piece of the Triforce is Wisdom, so pretty interesting little setup there. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.